Welcome back to Mid-Morning. This Black History Month. Ashland, the Henry Clay Estate, is offering some special tours to share the powerful stories of the enslaved men, women, and children who helped build and sustain the estate.
Executive Director Jim Clark joins us with how these tours highlight stories of resistance, resilience, and courage. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you.
For those who aren't familiar with the Henry Clay Estate, can you kind of tell us about some of the history?
Sure. Henry Clay was an incredible statesman, but he was also someone who was heavily involved in slavery. So we focus on the complete picture of Ashland. It was built originally in 1804. His son rebuilt the place in 1852. It's been in the family for 5 generations. So it's an incredible place for authentic Kentucky history. The grounds there's 17 acres, and during our regular season, March through November, we have the tours at 1 o'clock on Traces, which details slavery at Ashland. But this month, we focus on a more expanded view of that. It goes beyond emancipation and the families, the black families that were involved with the McDowells, which are the grandchildren of Henry Clay. So it goes past the Civil War into the early 20th century.
Those could sometimes be difficult conversations to have. How do you all go about balancing that while still, telling a complete picture?
Well, part of it is how do you tell Henry Clay's story, without talking about his compromises, and that's what he's known for, is the great compromiser. But those compromises dealt with the growth of the nation, but also the expansion of slavery and his attempt to regulate that. So it's part and parcel of his political life, and also he was challenged quite often by abolitionists, especially in the North and as the nation was growing to the West, that they were challenging him on his personal use of slaves at Ashland and calling for him to emancipate them, which he did not do.
What do you hope that people take away from these tours?
That they understand the complete picture of history. We didn't get here by just a linear, clean path. There's lots of ups and downs. There's lots of ways to look at what great men have done, and then also understand that there's a dark side sometimes. We find it very hard to believe that somebody as wealthy and prominent as Henry Clay would have enslaved people in order to gain that wealth. That's a period that we have to come to grips with and understand how that shaped where we are today. And telling truth is the only way that you get to a real democracy.
Who are some of the people you all will highlight during the tours this weekend?
Well, first we start with the enslaved that were there in Henry Clay's time. So we have stories of people like Lottie Dupree, who sued Henry Clay for her freedom when he was Secretary of State. So we know quite a bit about her because of newspaper articles. The trial lasted over a year, which she lost. But then we go into the post-Civil War period when the McDowells lived there, and there's the Hummons family and other families that were involved with the estate. And that's one of the things that we're trying to do as we learn more about the story of African Americans at Ashland is to connect with people who believe that they are descendant from people that were either enslaved or later on worked at Ashland. That gives us a much rounder picture of life at Ashland.
So you've got tours this weekend. Are there still tickets available?
Yes, 10:30 and 2:30 on Saturday. We're winding down. We've been running them this week, but we do have some availability, 10:30 and a little bit more at 2:30.
All right, henryclay.org/visit. Thanks so much for coming and talking to us.
Thank you.